All right, this is going to be a fun video, Amelia, because we're going to talk about why Europeans think Americans are ridiculous. These are things that make Americans stand out, make Europeans roll their eyes, and we have witnessed every single one of these on our slow travel through Europe over the past few years, and I gotta say we're actually guilty of a few of them ourselves.
Yes, we've done some of these. But before we start this list, if you're new to our channel, we are Amelia and JP, and we can help you fast track your move abroad, whether you want to expat to one country or if you want to slow travel for a while.
All right, let's dive in, Amelia. The first one is that Americans talk loudly. We get this in our comments, Amelia. Sometimes some people will say, why does he yell? I don't know. This is how I speak. I project.
He does speak a lot louder than I do, but in general, we usually can tell Americans because they are a lot louder than the Europeans, especially where we are right now in Riga, where they speak very softly.
Yeah, most of Europe speaks softly by American standards.
Yes, except maybe in Greece.
Yeah, they
Parts
yell
of
at each
Greece.
other in the streets there. Yeah, so you'll hear Americans talking loudly at restaurants. You can hear them across the restaurant. Everybody else is having a nice quiet conversation, and then there's the Americans sitting at the table talking at the top of their lungs.
We do speak loudly as a culture. Why do you suppose that is?
Maybe it's because it's such a big country and we had to yell at our neighbors like a mile away.
Maybe.
Yeah, so we use our outside voices indoors, and that drives Europeans crazy.
It does. It does drive them crazy. It really makes us stand out.
All right, number 2 on this list, Americans like ice. We like ice in our drinks.
I guess I am the exception to this rule, but JP is a huge ice person, and I once witnessed him and his dad argue over their ice.
Yeah. So the first time I came to Europe, I went to London like 25 years ago, and I went to a bar and ordered a Coke. And brought the Coke out, and it had no ice in it. It was filled all the way to the top with no ice. And I tasted it, and I thought, well, maybe it's cold. It wasn't even cold. So I asked the bartender, would you mind giving me some ice? And he did one of those over his glasses, look at me, took the glass away without saying a word, and brought it back, had one ice cube in it. One ice cube.
Well, I will say to take that to the next level is not just about the ice, it's also about having cold drinks, because there are times when I would like something that's cold, and they often bring out things like sparkling water at room temperature, which we're just not used to, but that's very common in Europe. So yeah, you definitely get the weird looks.
Yeah.
Unless you're in the tourist areas and they're used to it, but sometimes they still just get like, they just get
Exacerbated?
That's not the right
word. Exasperated?
Exasperated, yes. Like, really? More ice, Americans? Come on.
I know. Yesterday we ordered sparkling water, and it was room temperature. So I asked the guy, could you bring me some ice? And he just gave me this big smile, and I could tell he was thinking, Americans.
Yes.
It's funny. All right, number 3 is that we eat dinner early.
Okay, that is spot on true. And it is a hard change to make. It's so hard for us in Spain. We've been traveling around with our turtles, and we've been going out to eat at like 5 o'clock or 5:30, which is even a little early for us, but it's definitely early for the rest of Europe.
Yeah, when we were in Spain, that's when we first started slow traveling, some of the restaurants didn't even open for dinner until 8 p.m. And we would be standing outside waiting for them to open the doors, and I'm pretty sure they just roll their eyes, oh, here are the Americans, let the Americans in.
Yes.
Because we were like, I was ready to eat at 7, and they didn't open until 8.
Yeah, we usually like to eat around, what, 6 or
6 or 7 or 7.
Yeah.
But not 9 or 10. Some of these places, like when we would go out to eat at 8 and finish at around 9, the place wouldn't even be full yet. It was just starting to fill up at 9 p.m.
I know. Spaniards, how do you eat so late? I don't understand it. Well, I guess part of it is because they don't eat a heavy meal. So they eat more during the day, and then they eat less, and it's more of an experience. Mm-hmm. Whereas for Americans, we're used to going out and having a bigger dinner. So I want to eat that earlier so I have time for my food to digest.
And go to bed at a reasonable time.
Yes.
I think they're just getting started at like 10 o'clock, and we're in bed by 9 or 9:30 usually.
We don't really fit in well with that aspect of European culture at all.
Yeah. Number 4 is, I guess maybe the Europeans aren't so upset about this, but we tip like we're still in the U.S. Amelia and I don't, but we witnessed it amongst our travelers, still tipping like they're in the U.S., and it's not expected everywhere else. And also a lot of places just include a 10% service charge. or they just don't expect it at all.
They don't, and some people don't like it. So you need to be mindful of that, because in some cultures it can be considered rude, and they just get confused at all. Like, why are you even trying to give me money?
Yeah, like when we first got to Albania, I tried to tip the taxi driver who brought us from the airport to our lodging in Tirana, and I gave him a tip. He's like, no, you paid too much, and he gave it back to me. And I'm like, this for the tip. He's like, you don't need a tip.
Yeah. That's just not the way their culture is.
It was fascinating.
It is.
But remember when we were in Spain in Malaga, and we had dinner, and the guy brought the bill, and we were getting ready to pay it with the credit card. He said, where are you from? We said, we're American. He said, oh, you want to leave a tip then? And he's like, and I said, no, because it wasn't a tipping culture there.
No, that was not okay.
I know, because he didn't ask anybody else around us if they wanted to leave a tip.
So that's the downside of leaving a tip, is then it sets that expectation in those tourist areas that that everybody should be leaving a bigger tip. And then people from other countries aren't used to doing that either. So it can be a slippery slope.
It can be. All right, number 5 on this list is Americans walk confidently in the wrong direction. Amelia's guilty of this.
I do that all
But we've
the time.
seen this so often with our turtles on our leaps when they're out walking around. They're confident they're walking right in the wrong direction.
Is that an American thing?
Apparently
I feel like
it
that's
is.
a personality thing.
Apparently it's a very American thing, because I've seen this online and other people. This is like a European stereotype for Americans.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, guilty.
Yeah. And number 6, I think, is one of the things they like about us, though, is that we smile at strangers and say hi. Some people are suspicious about that, or makes them feel uncomfortable. But I think a lot of people appreciate how friendly we are.
I think it depends on the country you're in, because some of the countries we've been to, they're very reserved, and they think it's weird if we're coming up and being all buddy with them. Because you're right, if they make you, it makes them think, all right, what do you want?
Yeah, sometimes I get a little suspicious.
Yes.
Yeah, if we're overly familiar, it can feel unusual to them, because it's not their culture.
Exactly, and maybe you're right. If you're overly familiar, it can definitely make them feel uncomfortable.
Number 7 is Americans rush through everything. We run from selfie to selfie at tourist destinations. The Europeans tend to take things very slowly. They walk slowly. They talk a lot and appreciate things more. Americans, from their perspective, are always in a hurry.
I don't think that's just Americans.
I don't know.
Other cultures do that too. We've seen it in action.
Maybe some of the Asian culture, especially the Chinese.
When we're talking
bad
tours, yeah, the selfie to selfie thing. But I do know I happen to walk very fastly. And you do. You walk even faster than I do. So yeah, we're walking with purpose and with confidence.
And often in the wrong direction. Also, we eat faster.
I think that's the bigger
thing. Issue is that we rush through dinner. In European culture, it's very common to sit and eat dinner for 2 or 3 hours and just kind of munch and have multiple courses delivered over time. And Americans, we like it all delivered at once. We eat it fast and then we're gone.
Yeah, we don't linger and hang out for hours over coffee.
Yeah, the Europeans like to slow that down.
Which, that's not such a bad thing for us to embrace, that European custom of taking your time at meals and having it be more of an experience than just a chore.
Yeah. We've experienced a lot of these cultural differences during our slow travel, and it's a nice way to actually get a deeper perspective from a place. So if this kind of travel appeals to you, then check out our Slow Travel Unlocked mini course. It's totally free, delivered directly to your inbox. Just scan this QR code or go to turtletravelclub.com/go slow.
Go slow.
All right, number 8 on our list, Amelia, is Americans are very enthusiastic.
Like we are right now in
this
video.
But it's so true, though. You can see Americans and their enthusiasm. And
it is.
Some European cultures can be very subdued.
Yes, but we get to a new country or a new city and we're like, wow, look at that, look at the architecture, look at this beautiful park, look at the blue sky, look at all that gorgeous produce.
Yeah, and we say amazing and awesome a lot.
I do that a lot.
Yeah, we both do that. I'm like, oh, that's amazing. And I'm pretty sure I have seen Europeans roll their eyes. There's another American finding our church amazing.
I guess we might as well just walk around with a big beacon on our heads.
Yeah. Number 9, you guys are going to appreciate this. Americans talk about work more. We don't see that in other countries.
No, we definitely do not experience that
Yeah.
very much at all in other countries around the world, not just for Europeans.
Yeah, although I'm thinking Japan is a lot like the U.S. I think they talk about work a lot in Japan, maybe, but
We don't know. We haven't been there
I
yet.
know that's one we haven't been to, but we do. Everybody's like, well, what do you do? It's one of the first questions
Right.
people ask. And in Europe, it's more like, well, do you have kids? Or what do you enjoy doing for fun? Or like, what are you doing today?
Exactly.
It's not like, what do you do for a living?
Yeah, they'll ask us where we're from and where we live.
Yeah, and they think it's odd that we ask what they do.
Yes.
Especially quickly, like so early in a conversation.
It is interesting how it just doesn't come up, just like with our friends, how we didn't know forever what they did. They're our Ecuadorian friends because we just never talked about it.
Yeah.
It's nice that you can find other things to talk about besides work.
It is. Yeah. In a lot of countries, people work to live. They don't live to work.
Yes, which is also goes back to the whole slowing down.
Mm-hmm.
And Americans, as allegedly, we're always in such a hurry.
Yeah.
But they take their time and enjoy everything.
Yeah.
And don't think about work.
Number 10 on our list is Americans dress sloppy. And this is so true. I call it they wear their safari wear. It's like they're walking down this cool street in Italy and they look like they're going on a safari with their cargo pants and their wicking shirt, athletic shirt, and their wide-brimmed safari hat.
And their hiking shoes in a city.
We see that. Europeans dress really nicely.
They do dress nicer. They definitely do. And so we do stand out. I understand that it's easier from a travel perspective to bring those kind of clothes with you, but it does make you more noticeable. Well, heck, we notice it all the time.
I know. We actually try to dress nicer now.
Yes, I want to blend in a little bit better. Same with the yoga clothes. Yoga clothes are not, or athletic wear is not as popular as it used to be. Really, in general, we just aren't seeing that. So wearing your yoga outfit just to go tour a city is not really appropriate anymore in Europe.
Although we still see it.
We do still see it. I know you want to be comfortable.
Yeah. All right, number 11 on this list is Americans are monolingual. Most Europeans speak at least 2, if not 5 languages. Remember when we were in Amsterdam, we were talking to this bartender, and she was from Monaco, right?
I think so, yeah.
She spoke 5 languages fluently.
Yes, it was amazing.
She's the one that told us that joke, that she said that what's someone who speaks 3 languages is trilingual, and someone who speaks 2 is bilingual, and someone who speaks 1 is American.
Yep.
She told us that joke, and I'm like, well, I can't disagree with you.
No, that's pretty accurate. We just said in the last video, I think we speak 1.5 because we speak Spanish, but we aren't fluent. So I'm going to give us a half.
Yeah, I would agree. 1.5 is accurate for that. It does stink that we weren't raised speaking another language.
I know. I do. That is disappointing.
Yeah, and they're like here in Latvia, they said that they from the first day in school, they're taught English and Russian in addition to Latvian.
And some German.
And German. So they speak basically 4 languages here.
Yes.
And we've seen that in a lot of places. Our friend Olesa from Ukraine, she speaks 5 languages.
It does make sense, though, when you think about it, because you're in Europe, and so all these countries, they're all together, but most of them have a different language. So necessity, right? Whereas the U.S., we're a huge country, and we all speak English.
Yeah.
So the necessity is not there.
Yeah, especially not during our formative years in the 70s. It just wasn't, it was pretty much everybody spoke English. I think Spanish is a lot more common now than it used to be.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. All right, number 12 on this list is Americans are very, very rules and safety focused.
We are very rules oriented, very rules oriented.
Yeah, and also liability conscious. Like are you going to get sued if somebody falls, or if I fall here, whose fault is it? Or,
right. Or if I do this, am I going to get in trouble?
Yeah, like exactly.
We're not saying you should break the rules. Don't get us wrong.
But sometimes they don't have rules, and we expect them to.
That's true.
And then so we're asking people, well, what are we supposed to do? And they're like, I don't know. Doesn't matter.
Yes.
They don't care. Just do it. So I guess Americans are just overall we're less comfortable with ambiguity.
Okay, that's a really good way to put it.
Yeah, and this also the signage.
Yes.
That's what irritates me, is that there's sometimes the signage is so bad. Not in Germany. I love and Austria, love the signs in my homeland.
The signs are good here in Latvia, at least the parts
They
we've
are.
been to.
They are. Yeah, Prague was terrible. All right, number 13, Americans measure distance by time instead of distance.
I do that. I was raised on that. I still do it. It'll take you about 30 minutes to get there.
Yeah, or
Takes 10 minutes walking.
It's a 10-minute walk. Europeans will say it's 100 meters.
Oh, I definitely wouldn't use meters.
I know, but that's what they say because they're on meters, not the imperial system.
Yes, I know.
Metric, not imperial. But I think it's interesting that it's such a cultural difference that we see that. Like it'll literally, a sign will say 10. Well, signs are common to be in distance in the U.S., but I mean, we'll see people. I heard people say it's like 100 meters. Just go that way 100 meters. I'm like, okay, first of all, I have no idea what 100 meters is.
I know, that's not helpful.
How far is that really? Do we really know how far 100? Even I know it's about 100. What is that? 300 feet. I don't know how far 300 feet is, but I know how far 5 minutes is.
Exactly.
I find it really challenging to get distance in true distance. Rather than just time it takes to walk there or drive there.
Yeah, I really have to visualize it because it's just not natural. We just didn't grow up doing that. Mm-hmm. Interesting.
Yeah. Number 14 on the list is Americans have straight white teeth.
We do have good teeth.
We get that question in our comments. We've had this for years. Like, how do you guys have such white teeth? Well, we just brush every day.
Yeah.
I mean, there's not a lot. It's not a lot to it.
But I did have braces twice.
Yeah, I had once.
Yep, and we use whitening toothpaste. That helps.
Yeah, the
go to the
bright
dentist.
White, whatever it's called. I don't know. Maybe that helps. I don't know. We go get our teeth cleaned regularly.
Yeah, we pay a lot more attention. Well, remember when we were in Vienna and because I had to get my crown, my tooth fixed, and the dentist told me how much he loves Americans because we always floss. And he's happy if his people who come to him, his clients, will floss like once a month. So that puts it in perspective.
Yeah, but maybe somebody watching never flosses. I don't floss very often.
You should floss. Go full American.
I'm not a
floss
good flosser.
every day.
I'm not a good flosser. All right, number 15 and the final one on our list is Americans talk about going back home to a place they've never been before.
You do this. I
Well, because you don't know where your home is.
Yes.
There's like this big black void where Amelia's ancestry comes from. We have no idea where she's from.
Just on my dad's side. We know on my mom's side, but we don't make a big deal out of it like you do.
Mm-hmm. Well, my great-grandfather was born in Vienna, Austria. My dad's grandpa. I was named after him. So it feels, I don't know, more like home. It does. It felt like home.
Tangible to you?
Tangible, yeah. And my grandma was named Newkirk, which is where her family came from, Nijkerk in the Netherlands, not too far outside Amsterdam.
Well, yeah, a lot of people can actually trace their roots all the way back. So I understand that, but it is interesting that Europeans just find that kind of ridiculous.
They do. They're like, you're not from Austria, you're American.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I feel like it's hard to explain if you haven't been through that. If your ancestors stayed where they were and everybody lives there around you, you can't appreciate what it's like to have your ancestors leave your homeland and then be able to go back as a future generation.
Yeah, it is an interesting perspective.
It is, and I really liked it. And we also talk about like we're 1/4 Irish, or
oh, that's true.
We always say that I'm 1/4 Irish, or I'm half German, or.
Right, I do kind of think that's ridiculous.
We all say that, though.
What difference does it make?
Everybody talks like that in the U.S., though. Do Europeans do that? Do Europeans say, "Yeah, I live in Germany, but I'm half Italian"?
I don't know. That's a good question. Let us know.
Yeah, it's interesting. So, all right. So I think these things aren't necessarily bad. They're kind of true stereotypes, but Europeans also find Americans very friendly, optimistic. We're easy to talk to, curious about things, very generous. Americans are perceived as very generous and just enthusiastic.
Enthusiastic can be a good thing as long as you don't take it too far.
Yeah. It is amazing how much our cultures have diverged over just a couple hundred years.
Yes.
Because a few hundred years ago, everybody was European. Like we were, our families were, and most of the American stereotype, most of those people came from Europe.
Right, a lot of Europeans,
But
obviously a lot of people coming from Latin America, places.
Yeah, it's interesting. But they came from Europe too.
Yeah, yeah.
They all came from
If
Europe.
we want to do the full history here.
Yeah. All right. So we'd love to hear from you guys in the comments. Did we miss anything? Anything that like strikes you, especially if you're European and you
Yes.
think of an American stereotype? Please post that in the comments. Just try to keep it nice.
I'm sure they could come up with a lot more. Like, how about I saw somebody the other day with one of those giant cup things. I'm like, oh, that is so American.
It is American to walk around with a giant container.
Yes.
You do that. She does. She has
It's
this giant water
this
bottle.
This was like massive. It's bigger, like double the size of mine with the handle on it. I think they're called those Stanley cups that somebody is traveling with from the U.S. Like, that is a commitment to bring that with you.
That's so
I
American.
think you can leave that at home.
All right, guys, remember to go grab the Slow Travel Unlocked mini course at ameliaandjp.com/go slow before you leave. And also leave us a like, please.
Yes, please.
Makes us happy and it helps our channel.
All right. I think we're all set. We'll see you all in our next video.
All right, ciao.
Ciao.